Sitting across from Rico Beard, Jim Costa. What's up? We're going to have some fun today. It's a Friday. We have Who Said It. 3 o'clock, I've got 4 players, the core 4 for the Lions, to take care of and pay in the coming years. Rico has debated it already. We'll do it as a show at 3 o'clock.
It's a good core. No, it's a good core, but I like half.
Okay.
And I replace the other half, and I think that I could get some people to believe, you know what? Yeah.
Okay. We'll have that conversation in about an hour. Let's start with sacred cows. This has been a conversation. As everything changes in the world of sports, is there nothing left sacred? Rumors this week about the NCAA tournament. Every year it's going to get bigger. They're going to expand. They're going to add more teams. NBA All-Star Weekend. It's always something different, right? You got G-Leaguers competing in the Rising Star Challenge. G-Leaguers in the dunk contest. College football playoff went from 4 to 12. Will it stay at 12? I don't know. Maybe it'll be 16 or 32 someday. What in sports do you deem to be a sacred cow? Something you never want to see changed ever?
Well, here's the thing. This all kind of stemmed from the fact of the NBA All-Star Weekend. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm on an island. So I'll just leave it at that. You can call in and complain. I may be yelling at clouds. 248-539-9797. NBA All-Star Weekend was appointment must-watch viewing. That was, man, the dunk contest and the superstars that were in the game and the three-point contest. And yeah, I'm old enough to remember. As I was telling you guys, there's still arguments to this day from who won between Jordan and Dominique. Like, because people wanted to do this. The players wanted to do this. Now the players want to go. They don't want to participate. They don't want to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's been so watered down that you got 2 G-Leaguers in the game. Quick, who won Slam Dunk last year?
Was it Matt McClung?
Yeah, cookies for the win.
It was the white guy with ups.
Yeah, but it's like...
Yeah, Kenny, that's right, our guys.
You just, the Rising Stars game, don't care. It's just nothing about this game that I want to watch.
Yeah, they've tinkered with it so many different ways.
It's bastardized itself so badly, it's gone. So there are other things. It's like, okay, you know what? Enough's enough. Can we just stop it right here? No more expansion. The NCAA college basketball tournament, we're done. When you did the play-in games, I thought it was a cute way for bubble teams. Okay, couple games down in Dayton. I can live with that. I can live with those games. No biggie.
But no more.
You went from 64 to 68. Okay. Now they're talking about maybe doubling it, going to either 96 or doubling it.
So we're going to put like a third of every team in?
Everybody, at this point, everybody gets a trophy and orange slices and juice boxes. Because it's just opening itself up. You have to, I know I'm sounding like old guy. Enough. I want my tournament the way it is. I like it, the 64 bracket. I think that's enough because here's what I think. You got to be good in order to get in there. It shouldn't just be for everybody because pretty soon it's going to end up looking like the NBA and the NHL where it almost seems like everybody makes playoffs. Football is this close from making it.
That's the one I wanted to bring up. Okay, four was always silly. With 5 at the time, 5 power conferences to put 4 playoff teams in. It was begging for controversy, and you weren't ever truly settling it on the field. Plus Notre Dame. I thought 8 might have been a sweet spot. They picked 12. Fine, 12's enough to include maybe a little guy here or there, but no more than 12. I know it's a fool's errand because they're probably going to end up adding more. But Rico, what is sacred? To me, can we at least let this 12-team playoff breathe? Because I do think it's going to be a sweet spot. But nothing stays. Everything changes. 248-539-9797. What do you want to see stay exactly the same in sports? Because the NBA All-Star Weekend, you're right, it was Team LeBron versus Team Giannis. Now it's East and West again. Hockey, Kenny, your sport, they did North American All-Stars against the world back in the day. All these sports like to put their special spin on things and add more teams to the field. What in sports is sacred to you?
I mean, I remember when the NFL Pro Bowl was actually fun to watch. How
far back are we going?
When Sean
Taylor?
Yeah, when Sean Taylor killed the punter.
Yep.
But they were hit. I mean, Think about that now. Like, first of all, everything about that play wouldn't have happened because it's basically two-hand touch, and Sean Taylor went out there and it would have been a legal hit. But it was fun to watch. It was like, okay, it's the Pro Bowl, and players took pride in it, and now it's just an event. You know what the Pro Bowl is? Exactly what it is. It's just something for you guys to do, for the fans. Dodgeball. I mean, what's next? Rock, paper, scissors. It's like, okay, it's not as fun as it used to be. But yeah, just wait. College football? That all depends on what the Big Ten and the SEC wants to do. Now, that's a topic for down the road, but the Big Ten and the SEC, even ESPN, if you read the fine print, they just re-up for this $1 billion contract. With the exception, we're waiting to hear what the Big Ten and SEC have to say. That's in small print, because I got a feeling those two are going to break off, and that's where you're going to see your 18 tournament. Just 8 teams between those two. That's all we're going to have. But 12 teams, yes. I think it's going to eventually go to 16. They left it in there. Just like when they went to 4, you knew you're not going to leave it at 4. 12 is a weird number.
But, okay, with college football specifically, focusing on that for a second, there's the trade-off with the regular season. What most purists love about college football, or loved past tense, that the regular season meant so much. If you lost a game, your season could end. They've traded that in for a better postseason. No. And I, Rico, I don't know this to be true until it plays out, but I think 12 is the sweet spot. You go to 16 or more, now you can lose 3, 4, 5 regular season games. Can't do that.
I thought he was in Mexico. I thought he wasn't here. Why is he here? Look.
Oh, is that a Mike-ism?
Here's the thing. Cookies, as I tell Mike. Here's what happens in college football. It's the one element, it's what I really love about college hoops. Because you have the 60-18 tournament, MSU can go out and play a rough schedule. If Tom Izzo played a schedule like you do in college football, every year we would think he was a blue blood program. Because every year he would just stack up and play the U of D's of the world and just beat up on them.
Right.
But you actually go out and you play Arizona. You actually go out and you play Duke. You play Kentucky. You play Kansas.
Rico, I like that.
You will get that in college football, because here's the thing. At 12, and if it goes to 16, you can now afford to have the air quote good loss, because you lost on the road to a team that's going to be in there as well.
Right. That's why I like.
Because right now, I hate the fact that it's almost like, how can we come up with the easiest schedule but make it look like we were really trying, but we really weren't?
No, the 4 team well ran its course. I'm very much on board with 12 teams. I want to incentivize a tough game in the non-con. I want better matchups week in and week out. I don't want to water down the regular season too much. I think 12 is the sweet spot, so I would make the 12 team one of my sacred cows. 248-539-9797. But we've seen so much change in sports. The Rose Bowl is not what it once was, right? You start looking around at things we used to hold as sacred cows, or things that you could never change, and they very quickly change. Kenny, what's one for you?
One for me, and it has to be. They've fiddled with it a little bit, but the NHL playoffs, the 16 teams, they've done like the 1 versus 8, the 2 versus 7. They've done it all format-wise, but the 16 teams just stick with that. I think it's the most, and this is me being biased, I will fully admit, I think it's the best playoff in all of professional sports. And they haven't changed a ton about it. They haven't expanded it. They haven't let more teams. They haven't done much of anything with it.
Kenny, I'll give you that. That is probably, I think that in the NCAA tournament. And
Don't touch.
No, here's why. They're better, because there's no respect of what your seed was or who you beat, or you came in as a number 1 seed. Don't care. Take this L and you can leave.
If the NHL added a play-in tournament, I would vomit. That's terrible. That's the worst idea ever. I hate that. But I think it's the best playoff in professional sports.
But we've seen all these playoffs expand, right? The NFL added the 7th seed. We've seen baseball add extra wild card teams. When is enough enough? What is something you refuse? You'll go kicking and screaming. Keep your grubby hands off it. Don't change this element of sports. Let's get to Jeff. Jeff, you're on 97.1.
Hey, good afternoon. Yeah, for me, it's March Madness. It's the tournament. This is why we have an NIT, right? If you don't make the tournament, you go to the NIT or you buy your way into another tournament. And the fallacy here, and this is the thing that really drives me crazy about all this expansion, especially in college sports, is this fallacy that if you expand the tournament or you expand the number of teams to make the playoff, the Colorado States and the Mountain West teams are going to get in. They're not. You're going to see 7 SEC teams and 6 Big Ten teams.
Yep.
And we already saw this. We already witnessed this with the expansion of the NCAA basketball tournament from 32 to 64. Now instead of 3 Big Ten teams getting in, we're getting 7, right? And yeah, some small schools get in. But if you look at the history of the tournament, it's still the big schools that are getting to the Final Four and winning. And this idea that it's going to be more inclusive or it's going to be more equitable or balanced is just a fallacy.
Yeah,
the big schools carry the day. So why not have a smaller number and a more competitive play?
And I would argue it is already equitable. If you win your conference, you get yourself in the tournament. If you don't, you get thrown to the wolves.
Right.
And there's already breathing room for the big conferences to get a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth team. To expand it where we need the 9th Big Ten team in seems ludicrous.
No, but as far as college football, think about it. I'm excited already. I'm not even a Michigan fan, but I'm excited for week 2, Michigan, Texas.
Yep.
Like, you want to see that game. You don't want to see, Ohio State Bowling Green doesn't move the needle. But if you tell me, Ohio State's going to take on Florida State. Oh, you know what? Let's change our plans. I want to watch this game. If you expand college football, it allows you to play those types of games and you don't get punished, because in college football, if you're not perfect, you only get to lose 1. But at most teams, if you lose 1, you're done. Think about it. It's what made Michigan special for them. Everybody was waiting for them to lose 1, because you know what happened. If Michigan would have lost 1 game,
we've been held against
they
them.
were out.
Mm-hmm.
They were not going to go to the playoffs. They had to be perfect. I like the fact you can go out and play some teams. You can beat some teams. It shows you what you are early. If you're a fan and you got a season tickets, you want to go to that game. You don't want to go see them playing UNLV.
No, that's an example of a good change. From 4 to 12 is a good change because of the Michigan-Texas game and better non-conference games and better Saturday in, Saturday out product. I think another change, and there was a fight about this a year ago, I think the pitch clock was a good change. Not all change is bad.
You know what?
Not all change is bad, Rico.
Yeah. Instead of wasting my time out there, guy, throw the ball.
More of your responses. 248-539-9797. What are you refusing? Do not change this in sports. 97.1.